Alright, grand community, e get talk wey happen between Apostle Ken and one man. So the man come dey ask am say, Oga, how dis thing wan take waka now? Make you talk to us now, make una pay attention, make una hear the reply wey Apostle Ken reply am, because this one be like say na guarantee o, but we no come know wetin go happen. Make we wait, make we see wetin go happen. But make you listen to wetin dem talk, and make you no forget to subscribe.
Hi, Sunday, sir. Happy birthday to you. We've been trying to call you to wish you happy birthday and more life, prosperity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Sir, hope there's hope for us this week, sir.
Hello?
I say hope there's hope for disbursement this week, sir.
Now you people, there's no problem for yourself. You are just fixing date now. Tomorrow, you will tell me say na next week.
It is well, sir.
I didn't tell you this week or next week. Now you the fix them by yourself.
Okay.
You will wait for me. I will make announcements.
Thank you very much, sir.
Fixing all these days, why tension and everywhere.
Yes, sir.
It's not easy. Nobody knows what we are going to, but the truth is that we are going to discuss. Until I talk.
Praise God.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. May God bless you and uplift you, sir.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, man. God bless you, man. Well done. From Kaduna?
Yes, sir. Quality Illumina Kowa Initiative, sir. NGO, sir.
Okay, all right.
Ubangiji ya saka mata, Ubangiji ya ci gaba da baka rai da lafiya. Have a good day, sir.
All right, you heard it. You heard it. Apostle Professor Ken finally speaks. Wait for me. A voice of assurance, a call to endure. In other words, on the 1st of June, a long-awaited silence was broken. It was broken anyway. After months of suspense, frustration, dwindling hopes, and countless debates across the social media platforms, Apostle Professor Ken Nwakama, the voice behind the UAAG program under the Sanctuary Wealth Multipurpose Initiative, finally spoke. Though brief, but he spoke. What he said might not have answered every question directly, but it carried the weight of assurance that has comforted many and reignited a touch of hope across thousands of Nigerian homes. Interesting. His words were simple, yet so profound. Wait for me. Wait for my broadcast and disbursement. I'm going to disburse an assurance the fund is going to be disbursed. And stop disturbing yourself, fixing dates up and down and all that, but the money, the fund is going to be disbursed. This is just the reality. But what does those words truly mean to the multitude of Nigerians who have waited for over a year? They've been anchored by trust, confidence, clinging to prayers, and enduring some ridicules in their homes, in the churches, some of them in their communities. I want us to see the weight of this statement. It could be emotional and the spiritual layers of what this means for the masses. Now, to understand the impact of Apostle Ken's message, one must first understand the deafening silence that preceded it. Now, for months, the masses have asked, when will disbursement happen? Is this real? Is it all just another hope that will fade? Many beneficiaries of this UAAG grant began to grow weary The timeline kept shifting, hopes built up during the countless next week, and assurances often came crashing down. The public trust wavered, not necessarily because they lost faith in Apostle Ken's heart, but because of the mounting pressure of reality. The school fees was there, the rents were there, the hunger was there, the shame was there, the medical bills were there. Yet, amidst this, Apostle Ken remained mostly silent. Not because he had abandoned the people. After all, you could see it possibly at different times I've sent the voice notes to him. But because, as we now understand, he was battling forces bigger than he could publicly reveal. But a voice returns on the 1st of June when Apostle Ken finally spoke. It wasn't just a social media post or a church announcement. It was a spiritual announcement, a spiritual reassurance, a touch lit in the middle of a long dark night. Wait for me. This phrase, so human and divine at once, it carries some biblical undertones. It mirrored the patience of the Israelites in the wilderness, the faith of Noah as he built the ark, the years that Joseph spent in the dungeon before his elevation. It was a prophetic instruction, not a plea. He wasn't begging the people to stay. He was urging them to trust. Wait for my broadcast and disbursement. It's coming. And this added more clarity. Not only was Apostle Ken reassuring the people of his presence, but he made it clear that an official broadcast is coming, and with it, the long anticipated disbursement will break. It's going to break through the annals of the walls of this country for many who had begun to question if the grant would ever be real. This declaration was the anchor that their soul needed. Apostle Ken's statement wasn't quoted with sugar. He didn't paint unrealistic timelines. He didn't issue fake dates to calm the crowd. Instead, he said, this is just the reality. And this part of his message speaks to the practical challenges he and the team may have been facing behind the scenes. The bureaucratic blocks, the regulatory sins, the issues, the sabotage from enemies of the vision, and possibly even spiritual warfare. And in a time where deception is common, empty promises dominate headlines, Apostle Ken's willingness to acknowledge the reality was both humble and heroic. He recognized the frustration, but gently asked for faith. He didn't pretend that the process was smooth. He just assured us of the outcome, that it was still intact. And despite this long delay, there is something spiritually undeniable about the support that Apostle Ken still commands. Thousands still they still pray for him. That's what, it's not funny. That's the reality I just had to tell you. Thousands still pray for him. Millions still believe. Why? Because he never changed the vision. From the beginning, Apostle Ken stood by the mission to help the vulnerable, to empower the poor, to revive destinies through this grant. He never diverted the message to personal gain. And he still speaks with humility. Unlike many leaders who project power from distance, Apostle Ken's voice comes with warmth, fatherhood, and brokenness. Speaks to the people like one of them, not above them. And because the people are desperate for a change, this is not just about money, it's about redemption. For many Nigerians, this grant represents the first and only tangible promise of breakthrough in a life that is full of struggles. It's a promise. It's a promise of being seen, of being loved, of being lifted. Oh, that's interesting. The journey has not been easy, truly. Yes. I could relate to those applicants and beneficiaries who have faced so much mockery. You possibly don't understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of backlashes, tongue lashing, ear drawing, nose jacking that have gone on here. A lot of mockeries from families. Some were called fools for believing in the system. Others were threatened by their landlords, unable to pay their rent. Market women, single mothers, students, disabled persons, all waiting, some with tears in their eyes, some with fasting and prayers, others with barely a breath and hope left. And yet, this one sentence from Apostle Ken, I believe, has restored dignity to many people. Wait for me. Because now, it's no longer a guess game. It's our spiritual instruction that is backed by clarity. The man who started it has spoken again. And when a spiritual voice returns to speak, it is no longer mere noise. It's prophecy reborn. This is the burden of the nation. It will be unfair to speak of this without acknowledging the unimaginable burden on Apostle Ken himself. Few men can carry the expectation of a nation. Few men can be strong when millions are looking up to you as the answer to their affliction. But Apostle Ken did not have to start this movement. Could have just remained in his ministry lane. But he chose to fight for economic empowerment. He chose to create a structure to bless thousands. Like every man with a divine assignment, is how to go through the fire, through attacks, through betrayal, through exhaustion. Yet, he spoke again. And in doing so, he reminded the people, I'm still standing with you. That's what it means. So what are we expected to do now? All of you listening to the sound of my voice right now, in the light of this new message, what should be the response of the people? You had to remain calm, but vigilant. Did you hear me? You have to remain calm, yet vigilant. Don't you allow rumors or fake news distract you. Apostle Ken has said there will be a broadcast and a disbursement, so wait for it. Don't spread panic. Spread patience. Also be prayerful. If you ever believed that this movement was spiritually rooted, then now is the time to return to your knees. Pray for divine speed. Pray for Apostle Ken. Pray for the system to work. Ensure that your details, as usual, your banking stuff, your cooperative records, your affiliations are intact. When the time comes, be ready. Encourage others. This is not a time to mock or complain. Encourage your neighbor. Speak life. You're not healthier than the words of your mouth. Be part of the hope movement, not the fear campaign. I am looking ahead for what the broadcast is going to mean. When Apostle Ken's promised broadcast finally airs, it will be more than an announcement. It's going to be a national movement, perhaps the greatest testimony of divine provision the cooperative has ever seen in Nigeria, world ever. That day is going to mark the validation of months of fasting and waiting and prayers. It's going to collapse all doubts and misinformation. And I believe it's going to be a massive resurrection of dreams that have been buried by poverty over time and years. It's going to be a celebration, not just a cash disbursement, but of hope that is being fulfilled. And to those who are still doubting, I have a word for you. If you're among those who have lost all, you lost all hope and think this is another failed promise, remember this. This vision started with purpose, and it has been sustained by prayers. Now, it has been reignited by our leader's voice. Delay is not denial. Even Jesus waited 30 years before beginning his ministry. You could relate to that for those of you that are Christians. Even Joseph spent years in prison before stepping into purpose. Even the rain takes time to gather before it pours. Apostle Ken has spoken. That's the first step toward the floodgate opening wide. In conclusion, on this 1st of June, the atmosphere shifted. A new chapter was opened, not with the sound of currency, but with the sound of a voice. Apostle Ken's word were more than a statement. They were a call to endure, a call to believe, a call to prepare. To every mother, father, to every youth, widow, and every workers that have been waiting for the UAAG disbursement, here is your charge. Wait for him, for the broadcast, for the fulfillment, because it is coming. It's not coming as a rumor. It's not coming as manipulation. It's coming as reality. And this, just as he said, is the reality. I rest my case. I think I'm glad also in my spirit reporting this to my people. It gives me joy giving you this sacred information, because that is what your soul needs right now. It aches, I know. It pains, I know. But there's an assurance. Quote me anywhere. I love this. I love this and I love you.